You found the home of your dreams, you're under contract, it's time to celebrate, right? Not so fast. In this video, I'm gonna walk through exactly what you as a buyer need to be responsible for to make sure you don't lose the house of your dreams before you even get the keys. Let's jump in right now. If this is your first time to the channel, or you just started looking for your new home, I need you to do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you never miss out on the latest information in the market today. My name is Josiah and I get phone calls and text messages and emails every day from people just like you wanting to figure out what the next steps are for them. Whether you're ready to buy right now or you're in 90 days out, give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text. I would love to have a chat so we can figure out what the next steps are for you. Congratulations, you've got the home of your dreams under contract. So now what? Well, there's a lot that's going to take place from the moment you go under contract until we close. And our job is always going to be to make that as invisible and painless as we possibly can for you, because there's a ton of moving parts. But in order for us to do that, we're going to need some very specific spots for you to be very engaged, very responsive, to keep that ball moving down all the way to the finish line. Before we jump into those steps, I need you to listen in really closely on what I'm about to say. It's the only time I'm going to tell you to not go do something in this process. When you go under contract and when we submit that application, your financial circumstances, your financial profile as it exists in that application has to remain unchanged throughout the process. What does unchanged mean? Very simply, don't go make any big expenses. No new cars, no new sofas, no new TVs. Don't spend the money. Number two, do not change your income source. Don't change your job, don't quit your job. Keep that the way that it is in the application. Third, no big deposits into your bank accounts that cannot be explained or the source of those funds defined. We cannot have a big deposit come in within those 60 days. We're not going to get approved. It's going to mess everything up for you and you're going to lose the house. So again, don't go spend your money. Don't change your job. Don't go find cash under the mattress and put in your deposit into your account. Those are all going to mess us up. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. There's 6 important steps where we need to make sure that you are engaged and responsive so that we can keep doing the work behind the scenes to make this painless. Step 1, you're going to sign the disclosures. What are the disclosures? Once we take your application and we submit it to the lender, it's going to trigger a set of disclosures for you to acknowledge. Really what we're telling you is, here's the application that we sent to the lender. Can you acknowledge that everything in that application is accurate with the information you provided us? That's one of them. 2, we're going to ask for your tax records. We've got to make sure that your tax returns from the past 2 years match your W-2s, your income, everything else. All of that ties together. We need your approval to order those. Your intent to proceed. That's the final step. Can we move forward and submit this to the underwriter? Those are just a couple of the disclosures that you're going to get, but that's really important because we cannot proceed and move forward until you take care of those disclosures. I see a lot of loans that we lose 2, 3, 4 days sometimes at the beginning of the process because we're delayed on those disclosures. It's a simple step, takes you a few minutes, but it's so important for us to get the process started. Step 2, we're going to get updated documents. Look, we may have issued your pre-approval a few months ago by the time you found the home of your dreams. So part of that second step is going to be getting updated documents so that we have the most recent 30 days of pay stubs, the most recent 2 months of bank statements. We're also going to get a homeowner's insurance quote. We need to have all these things so that we can submit a full package into underwriting to get the process started for your approval. Step 3 is a really important one, and that's going to be the appraisal. Look, the bank's about to give you $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 for the home of your dreams. They want to make sure the home is valued at what you're willing to pay for it so that everything lines up. Your responsibility after we order the appraisal will be to pay for it so that appraiser can reach out and schedule a time to go into the seller's house, take a look at the home, make sure it's worth what we say it's worth, and I'll have all that stuff line up. The 4th step is a super important one, and where you as a buyer need to be the most engaged and responsive at any point in this process. That's going to be clearing conditions. Once we get a conditional approval from the underwriter, there's going to be a series of things that we've got to prove to them. Some examples may be work verification. We have pay stubs, but we want to get a verbal verification or a written verification from that employer that you still in fact work there. Another example could be if we have a gift. If you've got a family member giving you a gift to help with down payment costs, we're going to verify that they are a family member, that it is indeed a gift, and that the source of the funds from that gift were there for at least 60 days in that family member's bank account. Another example could be rent history. If you've been renting before, then we're going to want to make sure and verify that that rent payment was made on time for the last previous 12 months with no hiccups. Again, we don't know exactly what the conditions will be. The underwriter is going to let us know, but your loan processor is going to reach out, and the quicker you can turn around and provide those documents back to us, the less likely we are to have a delay in the process of getting to your closing on time. Step 5, we've cleared our conditions, we've gotten back all the documents the underwriting team needs, we're ready to move for clear to close. Closing disclosures are something you're going to need to sign, and you've got to make sure you get this done as soon as it comes in. Why do you ask? Well, because we cannot, per regulations from TRID, we cannot close on your loan until at least 72 hours have passed from those closing disclosures. So if we want to close on a Friday, we've got to have that closing disclosure signed by you no later than midnight on Tuesday. If it waits until Wednesday morning, we're not closing on Friday. We've got to wait until Monday to make that happen. So again, really important, when that comes in, your loan officer is going to call you, let you know that they're there, look through them, make sure everything makes sense, get those signed so that we don't lose any time on getting to the closing table. Final step, step 6, wire the money for closing. We've done everything else. The closing attorney is going to reach out, they're going to give you a set of instructions, and exactly down to the penny, because we've already balanced the final figures. We know exactly down to the penny how much money you've got to wire. Get that money wired over as early as you possibly can so there's no delays, so that when you go to close, there's nothing holding up from you walking away with those keys to your new dream house. Congratulations, you did it. You closed on your house. We made it. Again, I want to go back through and say there's a lot of moving parts. There's a ton of things, and our job is going to always be to make this as painless and invisible to you. In order to make that happen, you need to be responsive. You need to turn the requests from your processing team and your underwriting team as soon as you possibly can. But the one thing I can't overemphasize enough is, again, your financial profile at the beginning of that process has got to stay intact and unchanged until you have the keys, until you sign at the closing. Don't go make any big expenses. Don't go change jobs. Don't have any deposits come into your account that you can't source and you can't show where it came from. Keep everything intact, be responsive, get the stuff back to us so that we can make sure we work as hard as possible for you behind the scenes to get you into your dream house. If this is experience that you would love to have, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or go into the description below and book 15 minutes with me today so we can talk about exactly what it will take to get your home under contract so I can make this process invisible and painless for you. My name is Josiah Burge. I'm with Anchor Home Mortgage. I cannot wait to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.